A young bride arrives in wartime Kenya.
Welcome to paradise.
A true story of passion
You going to tell your husband, or shall I?
and betrayal.
Rather a weekend with ecstasy than a lifetime of drudgery.
Charles Dance and Greta Scacchi head a star cast in White Mischief, tomorrow at 10:20 on BBC One.
Well, over on BBC Two in a moment, a late show special exploring the relationship between the life and work of the controversial philosopher Michel Foucault, which contains disturbing scenes. Here on BBC One, Barry Norman with your weekly ticket to the movies, Film 93.
In tonight's programme, Kiefer Sutherland and Jeff Bridges star in a remake of The Vanishing. We visit the Italian location of Kenneth Branagh's Much Ado About Nothing, and Melanie Griffith is an undercover cop in Close to Eden. Good evening. 5 years ago, they came from Holland a film called The Vanishing, a thriller about a control freak who abducts and kills a woman to demonstrate his power over other people. A splendid little Dutch treat it was, and so inevitably, perhaps, Hollywood has now remade it, allowing the original director, George Slizer, to have another go, but this time with an American script by Todd Graff. Jeff Bridges is the control freak, a married teacher with a beloved daughter and a Nietzschean impulse to prove that he's beyond such concepts as good and evil. Kiefer Sutherland is the young man whose girlfriend, Sandra Bullock, is abducted when they stop at a filling station. Sutherland's obsessive search for her, despite official lack of interest and the absence of any evidence to show why she disappeared, goes on for years.
You know what I do sometimes? I pretend I have a choice. I have the power either to let her go on living wherever she is happy and never know anything about what happened to her, or she can be dead and I get to find out everything that happened to her. So I let her die. I swear to God, I wish she were dead. You do not know what it is like to not know.
Now, give or take, all this is much the same as before, as is the climactic meeting between the two men when Bridges insists that to understand what happened to his girlfriend, Sutherland must undergo exactly the same experience. So far, so good. But alas, elsewhere, various Hollywood-type things happened in the translation. For Sutherland, a new romantic interest, Nancy Travis, happened to distract attention from the search and dilute the tension. To replace the original chilling denouement, an over-the-top happy ending happened. And not the least damaging, a change of locale happened. In the original, the victims were a Dutch couple on holiday in France, and to the horror of the events was added the frustration of the desperate young man having to deal with an uncaring foreign bureaucracy. In the remake, however, everything happens to Americans in America. And since Hollywood has long taught us that America is full of crazies and indifferent, incompetent police forces, the frustration and the shock at such dreadful things going on are weakened. Which is not to say that if you haven't seen the original, you won't enjoy much of the remake. George Slizer is a good director. Jeff Bridges, adopting a precise, pedantic mode of speech, hints convincingly at the nutter beneath the reasonably normal surface. And Kiefer Sutherland is fine as the terrier-like searcher who simply won't let go of the bone.
Look, I just want to know what you did with her.
I'll tell you.
Adam, what are you doing out here? When did you get here?
10.
10? That was almost 2 hours ago. You'd rather be out here with my cat than inside with with a room full of strangers and relatives. Adam. Oh. Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. I wish I might have this wish I wish tonight.
That's Mars.
Well, now Slater and his dog live in a basement room full of books and classical music, to both of which the romance-obsessed Tomei is a stranger. Things poddle along until Slater is attacked and stabbed and learns that he needs a heart transplant. But, and mark this carefully, he refuses to have one because he believes that with a new heart, he wouldn't be able to love Tomei so deeply. He also believes that when he was a lad in the jungle, the king of the baboons saved his life by giving him his own heart. Yes, he does. He actually believes that. I mean, I ask you, what kind of books does this guy read? Anyway, he comes out of hospital, and now the love affair develops so passionately that you wonder how his heart, whether he got it from a baboon or not, and frankly, I seriously doubt that, can possibly stand the strain. Well, I said it was a weepy, and so it turns out, though I didn't believe a word of it and therefore kept my handkerchief dry. Still, Tomei, Perez and Slater, playing against type here, make for an engaging cast. Next week, the last in the present series, I'll be reviewing the notorious boxing Helena, along with The Trial and Fire in the Sky. And I'll also be taking a look at some of the films coming along in the summer. Until then, cast your eyes over this clip from John Goodman's latest picture, Matinee, in which he plays the hustling producer of the kind of gross, low-budget horror movies we all used to know and love. Goodman's film within the film is called Mant and features a man-ant. Here, a Florida audience get their first taste of the movie and some extraordinary special effects. Goodbye.